Turism rural și turism în mediul rural nu înseamnă întotdeauna același lucru. Din păcate, cele mai multe pensiuni sau agropensiuni din țară nu au prea mare legătură cu specificul local, cu tradiția. Dimpotrivă, în loc să promoveze arhitectura tradițională, pensiunile și alte construcții noi sunt parcă într-o competiție acerbă în încercarea de a împânzi satul românesc cu coloși realizați din materiale de construcție moderne. Rezultatele sunt de regulă un adevărat prejudiciu adus peisajului rural, cu totul altceva decât ce-ar putea dori turiștii atrași de specificul zonei. Explicațiile pentru această stare de fapt sunt diverse, de la proasta înțelegere a nevoilor turistului la dificultățile de a realiza o pensiune turistică tradițională. Penny și Duncan Ridley știu cel mai bine asta. De 7 ani se luptă să-și realizeze visul de a avea un spațiu turistic în care să salveze casele vechi din Maramureș și să promoveze activitățile specifice zonei.
We originally had a plan to have a few places in the world. We started off, we planned to live in Sri Lanka, but we arrived one day before the tsunami and got wiped out there. But we bought some land here, so cut a long story short, we ended up living here in the summers and Egypt in the winters. So our original plan was to have villas, to rent villas to people, but we realised that people wanted more and that they wanted more of an experience. So the idea is to have several villas. So we call it the village hotel, as in you have several villas to rent in a cluster.
Why here? The first answer for me personally, we've travelled all of the Balkans, and for me in Romania it's about the people. There's lots of beautiful places around the world, but in Romania the people we find very special. The community in Breb is exceptional. The people here are very friendly. We live in a village that's off the main road. That to us was attractive, so you don't have traffic just driving straight through all the time. The only people that want to come to Breb, the only people that come to Breb are the people who really want to come to Breb, so there's a reason for it. People go out to work in the fields in the day. They come back at night, which makes the community stronger. It's a very sociable village. Everybody visits each other, and we've been very accepted by the villagers. They're very hospitable towards us, and they're very helpful. We use a lot of labour in the village. We get all our materials from the village.
Most of the houses were actually here, but the ones we've bought from villages, surrounding villages, and people say we shouldn't do that, we shouldn't buy the houses, but they're going to knock them down anyway. So I feel like I'm Robin Hood, I'm saving it. I'm not the bad guy and stealing the houses. I'm actually saving the houses. Yeah, this house would have been firewood if we hadn't bought it.
Mai ales pentru o persoană venită din vest, satul românesc oferă nenumărate motive pentru a veni aici ca turist sau chiar pentru a te stabili aici, așa cum au făcut Penny și Duncan Ridley.
Firstly, we love working with traditional houses. I think for this kind of tourism, you have to have a passion. And we have a passion. We have a passion for these old wooden houses, for these beautiful gates, for the whole way of life here, the working, the animals, the fields, the landscape. And to us, that's really important. There are lots of people that want to experience this way of life, and we've lived here with our children for years now, and so we're fairly well immersed in the village and fairly well integrated. So people that come and stay with us, it's very easy to them to connect with the villagers because we're already connected. So if you come in as a tourist to a village like this, it might take you maybe a week to start to meet people. You come in with us, we can just drop you into a house the first day. You can go haymaking with the family. You can make cakes, make jam, make alcohol. You can embroider clothes. We've had all sorts of people here. So although it's what we call in English very niche, which means that it's not mass tourism, the tourism here to us is very special. We have part culture here, so you can glimpse into a way of life that has disappeared certainly in Western Europe and certainly in England in the last 100 years. That's the first thing. The second thing is part adventure. You can go cycling, you can go walking, you can hike up in the mountains, you can climb, you can see the sheep stations. There's the natural spas here with the salt pools. There's all sorts of adventures to have here. And the last part is relaxation. You can just be very quiet here, it's in beautiful surroundings and you can just relax.
Sună minunat, un adevărat colț de rai, dar să ridici și să administrezi un asemenea loc nu e nici pe departe atât de plăcut cum e să te bucuri de el în calitate de turist. Legislația europeană care se aplică acum în mare și la noi face foarte grea viața celor care vor să păstreze în viitoarea pensiune specificitatea arhitecturală a caselor țărănești. O mulțime de detalii vin în contradicție cu normele de construcție și siguranță cerute de Uniunea Europeană.
Unbelievably hard to set up, to restore old wooden houses, to make it happen, to brief local craftsmen on what you want, on how to do it. It takes, I've no idea, 4 or 5 times longer than building a normal house. So one of the reasons why we did that was because most people won't attempt to do what we're doing because it's so much easier to build a concrete house. EU laws seem to be coming in, and from my perspective, they're far, far too complicated for the government infrastructure that we've got to actually implement. They don't have the staff here, they don't have the training. These people are not in a situation to understand the German building code book to be able to come here and advise. And so we do have difficulty because we're building old traditional houses. The doorways are smaller than they are supposed to be in the building specification. How do we deal with that? We don't know. So it's getting harder. We built these houses, but I wouldn't attempt to start building these houses now for fear of not being able to do it.
It's extremely difficult to A, buy the land, to B, source the builders, to B, C, keep the cost a normal price. It's extremely difficult. For us, it's worth it. We've done this all over the world and we've chosen here because we think it's a really special place, so it's worth all the effort, but it's been extremely difficult.
Iar aceasta este o problemă cu care se confruntă operatorii de turism din întreaga Europa. O soluție ar fi includerea pe lista monumentelor istorice a cât mai multor clădiri vechi, așa cum se întâmplă, de exemplu, în satele săsești din Transilvania și în cea mai mare parte a Europei.
It's a nightmare there too. I mean, it's a nightmare everywhere. One of the reasons why we came and were interested in doing this in Romania is because those laws weren't here. And so you could restore a house. You didn't have in England it would be the specification for the ceiling is not an old wooden ceiling, therefore you can't do it. The difference in England is you have grade listed buildings, so if a house is over 100 years old, so a house like this, you would not be allowed to change it, which means you can keep it that way. Whereas here, I don't think there is the grade listed system. The mayor of Baia seems to be getting a lot of energy behind it and talking about doing it, which would be fantastic, of actually preserving the old wooden houses and making it that people can't knock them down and they can't change them. But that's not here yet. So if you're building a new house, yes, you should abide by the strict building codes. If it's an old house, you should keep it as it is to keep its character, its charm, its style. So it's like, the rules here, it says that I should have guttering. If I put gutters on a Maramuresh house, it's not a Maramuresh house anymore. You just don't have them. So it's all that. It's that having that flexibility and to be able to understand that what we're doing is something different.
Planurile de viitor sunt mari la Village Hotel. La fel sunt și grijile că satul românesc devine tot mai străinat de propria identitate.
My hopes for the future that I can just carry on doing what I'm doing, that the village doesn't change too much, and that basically what we've got, there's a saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So it's hopefully we can carry on doing the same. We've got a restaurant that we want to open, and we're hoping that we can do that. And our dream is to be able to produce organic food, preserve it in the traditional way, and serve it in the traditional way. And I'm hoping that EU legislation and the rules don't prevent me from doing that.
Again, our passion is just to somehow keep a little piece of Maramuresh as it was and go forward with it. Some things are modern, the modern cookers, the modern mattresses, but for people to come here and really feel they're living somewhere that was in the past. So that's our hope, that everybody will enjoy it and share it as much as we do.